Welcome back, everybody, to the 1987 Supermod. I'm your host, Brad Drake, and this is my AWA Save. Tonight, the AWA is back in Minneapolis, where we're going to do television tapings at the Sports Pavilion. So let's go ahead and set our venue. And I considered doing television tapings at our usual at the Showboat, but because we're in the Midwest for this leg of the tour, we'll go ahead and keep it here in Minneapolis. So let's go ahead and take a look at our backstage incidents. What's wrong with Ron Trongard? That Ron Trongard, he cooked for everybody. He's one hell of a guy. All right, the rest is protege work. Very good. And all our young talent is getting some serious words of advice here from our veterans. And we do have a lot of veterans. We also have a lot of very young talent, too. So let's see. Jerry Blackwell is the only one out. Let's go ahead and give our television tapings a rundown here. Yes, Championship Wrestling is going to be the first show taped. So we're going to see Malia, Hosaka, the Nasty Boys, Scott Steiner, Nick Kiniski, Steve Olsonoski. We're going to see Greg Wojokowski. Ooh, that's Owskis in a row there. Scott Hall, and a big main event that's going to be Sergeant Slaughter and the Midnight Rockers versus Curt Hennig and the Midnight Express. For All-Star Wrestling's TV tapings for this week, we're going to see the Zebra Kid make his television debut. We're going to see the Top Guns in action, Tony Anthony, Baron von Raschke, Kevin Kelly. Greg Gagne is going to put the World Television title on the line. We're going to see the Russians in action. And in our main event, Dick Slater is going to face Bob Backlund. With that said and everything considered, everybody, let's get to booking. All right, Sabrina and Malia Hosaka are up first here. Nice 3-minute bout. Of course, this one's dialed in for enhancement matches. It was the first one we did it, thanks to the advice of our longtime listener, Jen Sullivan. All right, there's Sabrina, and there is Malia Hosaka. Remember, we feature one ladies' match a week on television. This is it for this week. Up next, we have Ricci and Walker taking on the Nasty Boys, and I'm sorry, fellas, but it's not going to go well for you. Here's Randy Ricci. Randy Ricci is also known as Rockin' Randy, and I think he's still active. I think he's, I know he's still involved in wrestling, but I think he's actually in the ring still. Probably in his late 50s now at this point. There's Jason Walker, his tag team partner. They, of course, are going to face the Nasty Boys, and that's the perfect description for these two. We're going to give the win to Sags here. And moving right along down the list here, Tom Burton is in there against Scott Steiner, and things aren't going to go well for Tom Burton either. Scott Steiner, of course, continues his mega push here in the AWA. We have very high hopes for him in the future. There it is. Scotty Steiner is going to get the win. Up next, Alan Fox, not Alan Box. Alan Fox is going to face Slick Nick Kiniski here. Nick Kiniski should be debuting his new valet here, Baby Doll. And Nick Kiniski, Doug Summers, and Kevin Kelly are all loosely linked. I wouldn't call them a stable, but I would call them affiliated. As I've discussed before, I don't care much for stables. I think they're the most overdone thing in wrestling. Heels used to run with heels. Faces used to run with faces. With the occasional, when it really was important to have such a thing, I clicked on Kevin Kelly instead of Nick Kiniski. Glad I caught that. Yeah, heels used to run with heels. Faces used to run with faces. And it wasn't necessary for every time they tagged or partnered up that it had to be called a stable. A stable traditionally was the stable of wrestlers that a manager had. Sometimes they had a name, most of the times they did not. That's how stables came about. Now, there are the exceptions, such as the Four Horsemen, which was ridiculously successful and still talked about to this day. The Heenan family was another one that was very impressive. So Jimmy Hart's first family was very good. So there's all sorts of stuff like that out there. But overall, stables have been abused, and I see no bigger abuse than what is going on in TEW today, where everybody has to be in a stable, and everybody has to have a group of guys around them at all times, and it's just overdone, washed out, and old. As a matter of fact, AEW has gotten very, very stale. All right, Sergeant Slaughter and the Midnight Rockers are going to cut a promo here, and this should be a pretty outstanding promo. So here we go, Sergeant Slaughter. Six-man tags are fun. They're an attraction. They shouldn't be run often, and they are fun. There's Shawn Michaels, and of course they're talking to the man, Larry Nelson, and they are talking about Curt Hennig, Randy Rose, Dennis Condrey. Not in alphabetical order, but that's okay. We can live with it. And these three are going to be based on entertainment. And that one's booked. Very nice. All right, next. Clement Fields versus the dangerous Greg Wojokowski. Wojakowski's a bad dude. Legitimate wrestler. Real deal. There's Clement Fields. And there is Greg Wojokowski, also known as the Great Wojo. And if you listen to or watch our WWA save, you'll see that Wojo is on top over there. All right, Scott Hall's going to cut a promo here. And it's also going to be 5 minutes. We're going to try to shave some time here. For that main event we have. Right, here's Scott Hall. There is Larry Nelson. And of course he's talking about Dick Slater. Scott Hall is all over the place with his promos in this game. You just never know what you're going to get. So we're going to hope for the best here. Next we have Tom Stone versus Scott Hall. We have a lot of Toms. Maybe we'll change it over to Rocky Stone, which was Tom Stone's other name. Right there is Tom Stone. Perennial loser here in the AWA. Here's Scott Hall. Scott Hall with the win. Up next, we got Curt Hennig and the Midnight Express cutting their promo. There's Curt Hennig. There is Paul E. Dennis Condrey. Randy Rose. Larry Nelson. Gonna run out of slots here? Just enough. First, they're talking about Sergeant Slaughter, who is just days away from leaving the promotion. And Marty Genadi. Shawn Michaels. Right, Curt Hennig's rated on entertainment. Paulie Dangerously entertainment. Condrey, Rose, Nelson not rated. And then Slaughter and the Midnight Rockers off screen. So that one is booked. Now, we're ready for our main event here, which we'll see how much time we can get. And it's Slaughter and the Midnight Rockers versus Hennig and the Midnight Express. Make the adjustment here for a 3-on-3. That's a 6-man tag, everybody, not a trios. Ooh, trios. Ooh. What a stupid name. By this time, AEW probably has their trios champions crown too. And what a silly, stupid name. It's a 6-man tag, everybody. All right, there's the Midnight Rockers. There's the Midnight Express. There's that dirty Curt Hennig. So this is some serious heavyweight gold being featured here, everybody. And I'll tell you what. We are going to once again put Curt Hennig over Sergeant Slaughter on television. Sergeant Slaughter, of course, is not going to mind. And we will make this a tainted win. So once again, elevating Curt Hennig to the World Heavyweight Champion that he is. And that match is going to go, let's make it go 18 here. We have 1 more minute to spare. So let's give it to the Curt Hennig promo. All right, we are ready to rock and roll Hoochie Coo here. And we're going to start that show. All right, red text of doom all over the place as Malia Hosaka defeats the one and only Sabrina. The Nasty Boys get a win here with that double DDT. And hey, this isn't bad. Ricci and Walker have some chemistry tagging together, so that's good to know. We'll probably never revisit it again, but just for the heck of it. And you can tell with the 69 and 71 here that the Nasty Boys are getting over in the territory. Scott Steiner wins with that big Northern Light suplex hold. He scored a 79 on his own. You can tell he's also, getting over. Nick Kiniski apparently is not getting over. Red text the doom all over the place. These two don't click. Kiniski gets the win with that backbreaker. Next, Steve Olsonoski wins with his backflip over Tom Fuller. 53. 84 for the promo of Slaughter and the Midnight Rockers. I like it. I like it. All right, the next segment here. Greg Wojokowski wins with that Boston Crab Wojo with an 85. Very nice. Scott Hall only scores a 78 on his promo, but it's better than what they've been giving him, so I'll take it. And Scott Hall, of course, gets the win over Tom Stone with that Bulldog. Remember, everybody, he does not do the Crucifix Powerbomb yet. Scott Hall has still got that cowboy gimmick going on, and he uses that Bulldog. All right, 77. Oof. For Hennig and the Midnight Express, not good. Not good at all. But hopefully that first promo saves the day for us, and it will, based on our current product structure. Let's check out this main event. I expect this one to be in the 90s. If it isn't, I would be thoroughly disappointed. 93, very good. Very good, excellent. It's exactly what we're looking for. And Hennig beats Sergeant Slaughter after illegally using the ropes. So Sergeant Slaughter, once again, doing the favor for us on his way out. Very good. Thank you, Sergeant Slaughter. 83 overall, very nice. Increase across 29 regions. Terrific, terrific show. All right, we're ready to rock here now with All-Star Wrestling. Let's go ahead and change over our colors. Otherwise, you can rest assured I will book the wrong show. As I've done before, and all of you, remember, if you're a new follower of this show, hopefully you don't experience it. All right, Baxter and the Zebra Kid are on the opener. Of course, Baxter is the king of hair. And for those of you that are playing version 9 already, you know that Sean Baxter was also with the World of Wrestling. World Organization of Wrestling, I should say. Look at that hair. And his hair was pretty well controlled down there. So here we have the Zebra Kid. And that one's booked. We got to check something here really quick with the Zebra Kid because I don't think I turned off him being a road agent. So there it is. It's turned off now. Hopefully it's not too late. Well, it can't be too late. We already ran Championship Wrestling, so no problem at all. All right, Mad Mountain Mike and Art Washington are going to face the Top Guns here. Top Guns need a win. They are slowly getting over. I expect this one to be further red text of doom, but you just never know. Who's Mike's partner? Art Washington, that's right. And there are Top Guns. So we're going to go ahead and give Ricky Rice the win here. That one is booked up. More segments to go here. Bobby Walker versus Tony Anthony. Here is Bobby Walker. There's Tony Anthony. Tony Anthony, of course, is going to get the win here. Tony Anthony is embroiled in that nasty feud with Ron Simmons. He filled in for Colonel De Beers when he left the promotion, and I got to say, Tony Anthony's doing a good job. Mikey Jones here up next against Baron von Raschke, who is sliding down in stats. He is showing his age. There's Mikey Jones. Huge head, massive head. There's Baron von Raschke here. Baron's going to get the win, and you know it's going to be with that claw. Mike Force is up against Kevin Kelly. We're going to see Baby Doll with Kevin Kelly here. See how that combo looks. Baby Doll was a good heel, so she should be a good fit. There's Kevin Kelly. And up next here, Greg Gagne is going to get some promo time. Going to give him 5 minutes. And we haven't heard a promo from Greg Gagne in a while, and Greg Gagne always gave a pretty good promo, so no complaints. Of course, he's going to talk to Eric Bischoff here since it is All-Star Wrestling. And he's going to talk about Doug Summers. Not Dream Machine, Doug Summers. There we go. Entertainment, off-screen, booked. All right, Greg Gagne is going to defend the World Television title here against Tom Bennett, a future member of the Texas Hangman with Mike Moran. Tom Bennett would also go by his real name of Tom Benninghouse, and he would also go by Tough Tom in Disorderly Conduct with Mike Moran. And hooded, he became the Strangler in the Texas Hangman combination. Second combination of the Texas Hangman, I should say. There's Greg Gagne. There is the World Television title. And of course, Greggy's going to get the win here. And he has been a very good World Television champion for us. Up next here, we're going to get a promo from Wahoo McDaniel. And you know what? Let's do it even better. Wahoo McDaniel tries to cut a promo, but is attacked by Manny Fernandez. There we go. There's Wahoo McDaniel. Of course, Eric Bischoff would have been standing there. And there's Manny Fernandez. So let's base him on entertainment. We'll base Fernandez on entertainment. And that one is booked. Good way to keep that blood feud going. Russ Taylor and Dale Williams are going to face the Russians. And that one's going to go 3 minutes. There's Russ Taylor. And his partner again is Dale Williams. Okay. It's nice when you got plenty of enhancement talent. so you're not repeating the same guys on every show. We've done this right with this AWA save with the amount of enhancement talents. Hey, do me a favor. Throw a comment below and let me know if you appreciate the fact of how many enhancement talents are in the game, or if you think it's overkill. Let me know. Be honest. All right, we're going to have Boris Zhukov get the win for his team here. And the Russians have gelled and become a pretty darn good team. A very formidable force in 1988 AWA. All right, Bob Backlund is going to cut a promo. It's going to go 6 minutes. And Bob Backlund, a lot like Scott Hall, has been up in the air with how his promos go. Sometimes they're great. Other times they're not. We just never know what we're going to get. And Bob Backlund, of course, is engaged in that feud with nobody. Oh, the Iron Sheik. All right, there he is. There's the Iron Sheik. And he's based on entertainment. Sheik, he's going to be off screen. And that one's all set. And here's our main event. And it's going to be Dick Slater and Bob Backlund. And we should be able to get 16 out of the main. Probably going to end up being more. We'll double check. There's Dick Slater. There is Bob Backlund. And this one, of course, is going to go to a double count out. AWA style. There's the double count out. Bam. All right, we can go 2 more minutes. Let's give 2 more minutes on the promos. Give 1 more minute to that promo, and 1 more to the main. 17 minutes. Ready to rock here, everybody. All right, Red Text the Doom. 21 for that opener. Pretty poor match, but not a bad debut for the Zebra Kid here. Top Guns. Hey, no Red Text the Doom. Get the win over Mad Mountain Mike and Art Washington. They win with the drop kick. 35 overall. Tony Anthony wins with that shoulder breaker. Tony Anthony, of course, is managed by Sheik Adnan LKC. 66 for Tony Anthony individually. Pretty good. Baron von Raschke wins with that brain claw. Von Raschke, of course, only scoring a 68. He is dropping in stats quickly. Kevin Kelly gets the win with the good, bad, and the ugly. I'm not exactly sure what that was, but apparently he did it. He beats Mike Force. He scores a 73 individually. Very good. Nothing to be said about Baby Doll here. So that's good that she's not a negative. And next, Greg Gagne gets a 52. Oh, his promo with Bischoff. That's awful. That might hurt us. All right, Gagne scores a 70 in his match, though, against Tom Bennett. He scored an 80 individually. Very nice. 45 defenses. And Wahoo and Manny Fernandez get a 68. Very disappointing. I was hoping for something better than that. We're in some trouble with the promos here. The Russians get a 55 against Taylor and Williams. Can Bob Backlund bail us out, or are we in trouble on this show? Bob Backlund only scores a 77 on his promo. We're in some trouble here, everybody. Unless this main event gets an outstanding score, we are in some serious trouble here. And it does get an outstanding score with a 90. Very nice. A lot better than what I was expecting. The AWA typical finish of a double countout, and that main event could have saved us here. Gets us an increase in 8 regions and 80 overall. Very nice. I'll take it. All right, everybody. That's going to do it for this episode. We'll be back tomorrow to start filming part 2 here at Championship Wrestling and All-Star Wrestling from the Minnesota Sports Pavilion in Minneapolis, Minnesota. If you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button. Leave us a message below. Talk to us. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't like, and I'll be more than happy to respond. Also, join us on social media, facebook.com/groups/1987supermod. You can also join us on Reddit at the subreddit TEW 2020 Friends. Last but not least, if you would like version 9, go to braddrake.net. Drop me a line. I'll be more than happy to send you over a link to the database and the picture pack. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.